Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. It's Hazy Simmer. I know I am so bright on the screen. Good news is on Black Friday, I got a new monitor that will be here soon, so hopefully I can adjust the brightness. My current monitor is literally like almost 15 years old, so the brightness settings don't work, and I know it's so hard to look at this blown out screen, but today I am recording an episode for you guys for my Crybaby Whims challenge. So I hope you guys are excited as I am. So we are back in our household, and it looks like it finally has hit Belle that she is literally 18 years old, about to graduate high school, and she's having a baby. She is super upset because she sees this child as an unwanted child now, and I do think she is stressed out because her dad and her mom are kind of laying into her the reality. So she's definitely having to take more responsibility around the house and prove that she's going to be able to handle this. And her dad has basically been harping on her, making sure that she is living up to the standards that he's laid out for her because clearly he feels like he was not hard enough on her. Says so rude. Well, that was uncalled for. Bradford acting malicious towards Belle really left a sour taste in her mouth. It has Belle wishing she Sims could just be nice to each other instead of whatever that was. After reflecting on this rude interaction, could it be that Belle dislikes malicious interactions? Yeah, she definitely doesn't like to be berated by her father. At the end of the day, though, she still lives in his household and she has to live by his rules. I think she's going to come down here and nap because she is a little exhausted, even though it's 6 a.m. on a Friday. And peeking into our main room, we are just checking our schedule. And today is Friday, so we're supposed to have all day exams today. How interesting. Marigold just got this fear. Hang on one second. We'll just look at the dollhouse. It says Marigold has messed up again. How is she going to break it to her parents? They're going to be so upset. It pains Marigold. Simply picture the disappointment on her parents' face. How is she going to face them? Oh my goodness, this is really writing itself. Wow, okay, so she is worried so much about disappointing her parents, and I really think it has a lot to do with her sister. All right, so I brought the girls to the high school. We're going to go ahead and claim some lockers. And today is Love Day. So we know Marigold has been missing her boyfriend, whose name is Jace, and hopefully I will remember that. Belle is definitely having a freak out about being pregnant. So Belle is just coming into the bathroom because she is not feeling well. She is in her first trimester, having a rough pregnancy, to say the least. She's in way over her head, and I don't know how much of that she's actually realizing. But she was really sold to by her parents on like her whole life, telling her, oh, you're going to be a wife, you're going to be treated like a queen, you're going to take care of the home, you're going to be a mother. And that's kind of just like the life they sold her, telling her that her worth comes from her ability to be a wife. Her self-esteem comes from like her ability to be someone's partner. She very much has the mentality of being like a trophy wife. And for her, I think she was thinking like, hey, who cares if I get pregnant? Because that just means like we'll be together forever because she's really young and that's like a delusion she buys into. But Marigold, feels like she's never going to be good enough for anybody, and she constantly wakes up in the middle of the night having paranoid dreams that her boyfriend is going to leave her. And she's just so desperate to be romantic with him, but also I think she's very scared of ending up in the situation her sister's in because on one hand, Belle doesn't really think about anything. She's just like, oh, yeah, I'm perfect. My life is going to end up perfect, and I'm not going to have to put effort towards that. And Marigold is like, I'm never going to be perfect enough. I'm never going to be good enough. She's trying so hard that she's like breaking on the inside, if that makes sense. So that's kind of where the sisters are mentally. And today they're in the bathroom, just kind of calming themselves down before school. And I think they're giving each other a pep talk. And I think Marigold is going to tell Belle that, yeah, it sucks that you're pregnant. You probably should have taken birth control or something and talked to dad about that, before you flew without a parachute. But, at the end of the day, you're going to be a great mom because we had a great mom and, we have her values. And as long as we stick to the formula, like everything's going to be fine. And I think Belle's like, yeah, I think I'll just feel better once we're graduated and I'm married. So the gang's all here and they're sitting down for lunch. It looks like Marigold and Jace finally get to catch up. And I think she's so happy to finally see him again. And it looks like he's telling her what he has been up to after their spring break. He got to travel with his family and visit some colleges. He's going to tell her about like his college trips that he got to go on and the campuses he got to see. And then, he's going to kind of talk about their future and all that as because he is a senior in high school, so he will be finishing. And he's saying, like, once you graduate, you can come stay in apartments near me and, we can be together. I love you so much. They have been together for 3 years now since she was a freshman and he was a sophomore. And he's just really treated her great. They go on weekly dates. He has dinner with their family regularly. Yeah, like, I'm so thankful you're my girl. You are just literally the best, and I have missed you so much. And he's asking her if she would be his love day girl, because it is their love day, and he wants to take her on a date. Aww. And she just melts for him. He is the sweetest. Yeah, she is, suffering from paranoia. So she always worries that, like, oh man, is this too good to be true? Is he going to leave me? They're just talking, and she's just saying, yeah, I'd love to go to dinner tonight. I am so excited to enjoy this love day with you. This is our third one together, And our first date was love day 3 years ago. And he's like, yeah, let me make some reservations now, and we will go somewhere 6 o'clock tonight. And I think she's super excited about it. Following Landon around the school. It looks like he's trying to find Belle because he wants to talk to her. But he is actually getting in trouble for skipping class. Yeah, he's like, please don't send me to detention. Today is love day. I have to take my girlfriend on a date. Oh, he is super upset that he just got in trouble. Belle's like, please don't ground us. It's love day. We don't want to spend it in detention. We want to go on a date. But Landon is just saying, you know what? At least we're seniors and we're not going to have to deal with this anymore. Don't worry. Like, we're going to have a great life. Don't worry, sweetie. I love you so much. We're going to have the best love day. We're just going to not go to detention because we're literally graduating at the end of this month. I don't care that we weren't in class. What the principal says doesn't matter. We have our whole lives ahead of us now. Now that we're finally adults, like, what's she gonna do? Call our parents? We're 18. We could do whatever we want. And Belle's like, I want to do whatever I want, but technically, I do still live in my dad's house. And he's like, oh yeah, your dad probably hates me now. He was totally crazy the other day. Like, you're an adult, you could do whatever you want. And I love you so much. She's like, I need to tell you something tonight, okay? So Belle is feeling very sick. She's super stressed out about this whole situation, and she's going to tell Landon tonight about her finding out that she's pregnant. So the girls are just in here getting ready for their love day, and so is Mom. She's going to change her outfit into her formal outfit, and her and Dad are going to go on a date. This is their favorite day. They get kind of dolled up and go out to like their most favorite places. They're all going to be heading out to the same restaurant. Everyone is here at the bougie restaurant called Fork. They are all dressed to the nines and ready to go on their date. It looks like Belle is completely mortified. She is embarrassed that she's going to have this conversation with her parents present, make sure it's going to happen. Landon is going to be in for it because he doesn't know. We have Jace here looking super amazing. He's super excited for his date with Marigold. Marigold's mom is just telling her how happy she is that Marigold has such a great boyfriend in Jace. She is worried about Belle, but right now, there's only so much that can be done. She's just like putting faith in that her husband is going to make sure things work out for Belle. She is just doting on Marigold and letting her know that she's just so proud of her. They are all finally sitting down. All right, so hopefully I got everything all prepped to start this date. I did want to show you guys real fast that Marigold is paranoid. She's worried if they're talking about her, and I think she's talking about her parents because she knows right now how angry well, not angry, they definitely see the situation with Belle as a problem. Belle is, telling her family, like, hey, like, well, I think she's having a general conversation, so for the benefit of Landon, but I think she is telling everybody like, oh, like we're so excited to be graduating this semester. We're glad this is our last year. And Landon's like, oh my goodness, yes, I cannot wait. I love being an adult. I'm so excited to start my life. Mom is, yeah, like starting your life and settling down and kind of getting a house soon. And Landon's like, I mean, yeah, we have time. There's so many places we can travel to. And Jace is like, yeah, I just actually got to visit some colleges that I am currently applying to. And Dad's like, oh, that's so amazing. Like, I'm so happy for you. Talking to Jace, like, he's like, you are just a well put together guy. Belle went to the restroom. That is why she's missing, because she is having terrible morning sickness. Mom is mentioning, wow, like Belle has just been so sick lately, and kind of laying the groundwork because Landon has no idea. And everyone kind of got quiet because they're like, wait, like, why is she sick lately? And Mom's like, oh, her condition, mentioning that she's been having a condition lately. And Landon is totally oblivious. Jace is like, well, I hope she gets better soon. You look so lovely tonight. All you ladies do. And, he's just like super sweet. So Jace is, just like Marigold. You are so gorgeous. So lucky to just be around you ladies. Mom, of course, loves Jace. So does Dad, because, Jace has just got a great, promising future. He is going to college. Like, he has an aspiration to be a veterinarian, which Dad has a lot of respect for because he is a surgeon himself. So anyone who wants to work in any kind of medical field, he has a lot of respect for. Even Mom's saying, congratulations on getting accepted into your dream college. I heard Brightchester is such a great town, and I know Marigold would literally thrive there and just do so great living there. Dad is saying, yeah, like I also went to Brightchester as well. It is a great prestigious school, and I know you're going to love it. Then he's asking Landon, where do you think you're going to be going? But Landon was telling their mom and dad that he really just plans on traveling a lot now that he's an adult. Dad is saying, like, well, you really need to think about settling down with my daughter after what I caught you doing. And Belle is really embarrassed, so she has got up and decided to leave. So Dr. Bradford has confronted Landon about what happened the other night in front of the whole family. He's saying, you know, like, I caught you with my daughter. Like, I think you need to do the honorable thing and marry her. And Jace is really uncomfortable because him and Marigold are in this conversation. And Jace is like, yeah, man, like, you really shouldn't disrespect her and not marry her. And at that point, Belle had to say, yeah, about that. Whenever we woohooed, I actually got pregnant, and I am now 3 months pregnant. And Landon is not taking it well. Mom is looking at Dad saying, you know what we need to do. Like, that, she's not saying it, but she's like looking at her husband like, we have to do something about this. So she's just kind of watching the reactions now. Mom is being very quiet and paying attention. Over here, Jace and Marigold are having their own conversation. They are like so uncomfortable about this. But Landon is upset, and Dad's saying, look, I can get you a job. You can intern at the hospital until you decide what you're going to do for school, but you're not going to travel. You're going to settle down. You're going to marry my daughter, and you're going to be honest, be an honest man and take responsibility for this pregnancy and what you did. You will not disgrace us. And he is like, that's not how I saw my future going. I don't want to do this. I'm not happy about this. And Belle's like, you said you wanted to be with me forever. And look at Mom. Mom is like, I told you. Guys say stuff, but I told you. But she's keeping it together because they are in public. And that is kind of why Dad wanted to tell him in public so he couldn't just like run away. They are like keeping it down low. And now everybody's kind of like awkward and wrapping up the night. But Dr. Bradford has laid down the law saying, like, you're going to marry my daughter, and you're going to be honest with, be an honest dad, and you're going to be a good husband. And Belle's like, everything's going to be fine. Like, we love each other. And Landon is like, I did not sign up for this. This is not what I signed up for. And Jace is just thanking Dr. Bradford for the great dinner, for taking them out. He is like keeping in his lane and not talking about anything going on because he's dated Marigold long enough to know that their dad runs the house, runs the family, and he has great respect for their dad. He does not want to cross those boundaries. But Landon is definitely testing Dr. Bradford. And look, Jace is telling like, hey, man, like, don't mess with their dad. Keep be respectful, be a gentleman, like be a proper guy. You kind of laid this you made this bed, now you got to lay in it. And that's kind of where Jace is like advising Landon, but Landon is over there about to lose his mind. Yeah, Landon's like, I will see you guys later. Like, we'll, whatever. And he is not happy. But Marigold and Jace had a great love day, and they are just so deeply in love. And Jace just is the sweetest guy. So I have downloaded a mod by Ravishing where we actually get to see what Marigold writes in her journal and experience that with her. You do go in and type it yourself, but the way we're going to role play this is we get to see her journal entries, and this is going to help us keep track of what's on her mind. I feel like for this challenge especially, it works really well because storytelling on the moment and trying to decide what each character is saying without it being overly scripted takes a minute. So here is a great way for us to reflect on what I perceive to be in her mind. I'm going to open it up now. I have it right here just so we could look at it. Marigold wrote in her journal about Love Day. Year 3, Love Day. Dear Diary, I had the most amazing love day with my truest love, Jace. I must be the luckiest girl in the world to have such an impeccable man as my future husband. He did not propose just yet. I'm sure he is waiting for me to graduate. That would only be the proper thing since I will be officially old enough to be a wife. A wife, my dream life, everything I've been wanting for since as early as I can remember. I'm so close to it all. I hope and pray I am worthy. It's Saturday, so Marigold is back to her routine of going on her morning jog in this beautiful neighborhood where she is so privileged to grow up. Helena is tending to her garden. She has always had a love for plants. Belle is truly trying to live her life like this isn't happening and everything's going to be okay. Her parents really put her in a delusional space. Belle's mother is talking to her about the possibility of Landon not marrying her. And she says, Mom, he's going to marry me. It's going to be okay. And she's like, Honey, we can't force him to marry you. If this doesn't happen, we have to have a backup plan. Belle is so embarrassed that her parents even think that that's a possibility. So Helena has taken the conversation inside to talk to her daughter about the possibility of Landon not marrying her, is listening to her daughter explain, like, everything's going to be fine. Everything, he loves me. We're going to get married, Mom. He is my soulmate. Helena doesn't want to hear that because she doesn't believe he's going to do that. She's like, You're 18. If he doesn't marry you by the time you graduate, we have to do something. You're going to start showing after graduation. You're going to be 4 months. The closer you get to 6 months, then you're going to start showing, and everyone's going to know you're pregnant. You're not going to ruin the picture perfect image that we have cultivated here. Our lives are perfect, and this is not going to put any stains on our name. We have a standard to live up to, and you're going to hold that standard. I can't believe you have been so irresponsible when you're so close to being out on your own and able to make more adult decisions in the future. And Belle was just telling her mom, He is going to marry me. He loves me. Everything's going to be okay. And Helena is saying, It better be. Right now, though, she is brainstorming on how to deal with this Landon situation because she knows that he is not a stand up guy. She's heard rumors from other mothers about how he has disrespected their daughters. She's watching, her daughter walk around thinking everything is going to be okay, but Helena knows that not every guy has the standards that her husband has and would do the honorable thing. Helena comes from a really dark background and she knows what people will do when given the opportunity to take advantage of someone. And she realizes now that she has made her daughter weak by not making her have higher standards in men. So there's been a knock on the door, and Helena is just answering it. So an old flame from Helena's life has just showed up, named Sylvia. They have a romantic past, and Helena has been taken immediately back to that. forgetting herself in her own house. Sylvia has heard from Bess where Helena has been, and she's come to check in on her, wondering why she hasn't heard from her in all these years. Sylvia is super surprised to find that Helena has married and had 2 children because Sylvia remembers when Helena was never interested in being a wife and a mother. So they're just going to catch up, but Helena really wants to get her gone. And she's wondering if she's also here for some money as well. So to pay her off, Helena is going to give her $10,000 and ask her to leave and never talk about how she knows her, especially around her daughters. She's saying, please don't do this in front of my daughters. And everybody's like, what's going on, Mom? And Helena's like, nothing. She came here for a donation to the charity that she is fundraising, and I'm just making sure she has what she needs, and she's going to be leaving now. And Sylvia is just leaving. She's very confused by what just happened. She's like, why did Helena just give me $10,000 and tell me to never talk about her again? But Sylvia, she loves Helena, so she doesn't want to be a part of ruining whatever life she has built for herself. And Sylvia honestly, Sylvia honestly didn't even recognize Helena anyways, since she's had plastic surgery and everything in her life doesn't even make sense to who she used to be. So Helena is talking to her daughter Marigold because Marigold's like, Mom, who was that? Like, that was so weird. And Helena's like, don't worry about it, sweetie. I work with a lot of, she's like, I work with a lot of charities, and it's just another one of those situations. So Marigold has nothing, she has no reason not to believe her mother. So they're going to go in here and make their dinner for the day because their dad will be home soon. Tonight on the menu is crown roast, and Marigold loves crown roast. Belle is calling Landon to talk about their love day and the conversation that he had with her father. She's asking, are you seriously not wanting to marry me? Like, we've talked about having a future together. You said I was the one. What is a baby in this situation if it was something we were always going to have? And he said, I don't want to talk about this now. And he hung up on her. I think she is starting to realize what is going on. And she's going to confide in her parents tonight that she is extremely nervous. We're going to check in on Belle's memories in her journal. She said, life changes. Senior year. Dear Diary, where to begin? I stopped writing in you ever since Father read about the woohoo I had with Ricky. He said I was an embarrassment. I can't believe how he's been treating me. Our lives have been so perfect. Mom and Dad have been strict at times, but I get it. They have everything they want because of the rules Dad has made. I never see other people as happy as we are. I thought I would have that too with Landon. Her next entry. Positive. Senior year. I really love Landon. He is so handsome and great at football. His smile melts me. I don't know what the big deal is for Dad. I know I got pregnant, but Landon proposed to me. At least I think he did. When we went for that walk, he said I was his dream girl and he wanted to marry me. So the way I see it, who cares I'm pregnant? We will get married right after graduation and then travel up to the Hamptons for a year or two before anyone even knows I had a baby. Marry me. Senior year. After Dad did that at Forks, I am so scared. Landon won't talk to me, and when he does pick up the phone, he is short with me. What did I do wrong? We are as good as married. He needs to accept that now. Dad can get him a good job, and we can hire a nanny and go about life as normal. Landon is so handsome. No way he can't be super successful if he just stops being so scared. We can totally have the dream life. I just know it. Having that peek into Belle's head really shows us where she is mentally. So Mom and the girls are preparing dinner. Landon is the topic of interest. Belle is telling her mom, yeah, I just spoke to him. Everything's fine. We're fine. And actually, he's about to pick me up for prom. You like how I role played that in there, not knowing that was about to pop up? Yeah, so the girls are going to prom now. So the gang's all here. They've arrived to prom. I'm going to get rid of my face bubble so we can get into this event. Marigold and Jace are going to take some photos. They're just remembering Jace's last prom. He'll come back for Marigold's senior prom, but since he is a senior and about to graduate, this is officially their last prom together. And during all of this, Landon came to Savannah and had a kiss because he has also been dating Savannah behind Belle's back. literally behind Belle's back, if you just noticed. So Landon came to prom with Savannah. Belle lied to her mother saying that he was coming to pick her up, but really she was just hoping to meet him at prom because they hadn't discussed their pickup method she ever since he found out she was pregnant. They haven't talked about prom or anything. So he actually came here with Savannah and he's coming over to kiss Belle and let her know, like, hey, I didn't know you were actually coming. I'm so surprised to see you here. I thought you weren't feeling well because of, the pregnancy. And in that moment, oh my God, this just this just happened without me prompting. This is Marigold's boyfriend, Jace. And he asked, let me change his outfit real fast. I hate when they do that in the game. So I think Jace being a good guy, because Jace is a really good guy. Like, guys, we know it's supposed to happen in the challenge, but when I stress to you, yeah, their parents are good parents. They're good parents. They love their daughters. They just have this crazy idea on life. So they're not good people. So to know the difference when I say good, Jace is a good guy. So good that he is naive because he is a young, super young adult. He's 18, not doesn't have any life adult experience. He just got out of his childhood. I think when he saw Landon with Savannah, he did not want Belle, who is pregnant and hormonal, to be upset. It's their senior prom. Jace has been friends with Belle since their childhood. He sees Belle like his sister. Jace sees Belle like his sister. He does not want to see her hurting. He knows like how pregnant women are. He understands that, her hormones are influxed and Landon is a no good jerk. So this is their senior prom. He wants to make sure she has a good prom and forgets about their troubles. Jace asking Belle to dance was pure innocence. Marigold is off to the bathroom, so she doesn't. Marigold is off to the bathroom, so she doesn't know, what's really happening right now with her sister. Jace just came in. Jace just came in to save the day because he's a good guy and doesn't want to see her crying and upset or lashing out in public. So they're having a nice dance. They're all meeting up where you vote for your prom royalty. They're casting their votes now because this is their senior year. Marigold really wants to make sure her sister is prom queen because it means so much to her. And because she cannot control herself right now, Belle is asking, how long has he been with Savannah? She's threatening to break up with him, and she wants to know at the end of the day, like, is it her or Savannah? And he says, look, I don't want to talk about this right here. And she's like, oh, you're going to talk to me, or I'm going to get loud. I'm going to get even louder. He really does not want to hear anything she has to say right now. He's saying, look, I didn't sign up to be a dad. And she's like, you literally said you wanted to marry me when we were in the gardens. And he was like, don't you know people say anything to get what they want with you? Haven't you learned that by now? You're an adult now. And she's like, I can't believe this. I thought we were perfect together. And he was like, forget about me. Lose my number. I am disappearing after graduation next week. You will never see me again. And she was like, screw you. I'm going to tell everyone what you did. I'm going to ruin your life. Nobody will want to be with you. And I'm going to take you for everything you're worth in the future. Don't you even dare think you're going to get away with this. And he was like, look, calm down. I promise this is going to be okay. And now it's time for the announcement. So they're going to have to stop this conversation now. Belle's heart's broken. We're going to come over here and listen to the principal speak on who is the prom royalty, though, for their senior prom. And attention, everybody, we have prom royalty is Belle and prom jester is Jace. So Marigold's boyfriend is the prom jester. I'm going to say he's the prom king because I don't like a gesture idea. I wish it was prom king and queen. I need to download a mod to fix that. But Jace is a all-around good boy. Everybody in the whole school loves him. And of course, Belle is the queen bee, so they're all happy to vote her queen on her senior year. And I think this is definitely distracting her because at the end of the day, she does have some vanity issues. Belle is so excited, because Jace has been her friend since literally, Jace has been her friend since elementary school. Jace is her sister's boyfriend, basically her brother. He tried to make sure her night was great after everything. So having this honor with him really means a lot to her. She really does believe that, she can manipulate Landon into marrying her. So right now she is just trying to accept that this is just a moment. Everything's going to be fine. It looks like he wanted to take pictures, but the camera is not wanting that. And in this moment, Jace is asking the queen, Belle, for a sweetheart dance in front of the whole school while everybody cheers them on. They're all so excited to see this happen. Belle is really thankful to have a friend like Jace. She's really wondering in her head what she did so wrong to have Landon do this to her and manipulate her. She knows that she's everybody's dream girl. She knows she's everybody's dream girl. She's wondering, how did she get into the situation where she's pregnant with someone's kids who doesn't really want to be with her? She is the it girl and she knows it. She knows that she is desirable. She's wondering, how couldn't she find a guy who she is so attracted to, like Landon, but who could treat her the way Jace treats her sister. And in this moment, she's just realizing how lucky her sister is. And she's actually feeling envious of her sister for the first time in her life because her sister has such a good guy. And in this moment, Belle turns around and says, Jace, why couldn't I have a guy like you? You're so perfect. And she kisses him in front of the entire school. But not just the entire school, her sister and his girlfriend. Marigold witnessing this moment in front of everybody is an absolute devastation for her. So they step outside, and Belle is just trying to explain to her sister, I never meant to hurt you. I just realized how perfect Jace was, and I really just don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And Jace is yelling at Landon saying, this is your fault. If you just knew how to treat people, this would not happen. Of course, they get a difficult dynamic because she kissed her boyfriend in front of the whole school, which was so embarrassing. Marigold ran outside immediately. In their family, their biggest thing is their reputation. Marigold is feeling a million things at once. She just wants to wake up from this like it's all a bad dream, like her nightmares. She's going to wake up, it's going to be 3 a.m and everything's going to be fine and she's going to go outside and do yoga. Right now, all Marigold wants to do is yoga, but there's a voice inside her head saying, this is real. This really happened. Your sister really just did that and embarrassed you in front of everybody. Marigold is trying so hard to keep it together. Clearly, she has hurt feelings towards her sister. That is something she doesn't want, to ever experience. She's been paranoid about her boyfriend cheating on her the entirety of their relationship because she feels so unworthy. She suffers from that paranoia that her father medicates her for. And now all her nightmares have come true in reality because her sister has kissed her boyfriend. Not only that, in front of the whole school on their senior prom night. So, of course, they have a difficult dynamic. And Belle is saying, I am not trying to hurt you. Don't you see I'm going through a lot? Clearly, things with me aren't great. And she said, I don't want to talk to you. We'll talk at home. And in the midst of all of that, Landon punches Jace for embarrassing him in front of the whole school because clearly Landon can be a player, but Jace cannot. And Mary and Belle is like, why are you guys doing this? Landon kicked Jace's butt. You know, Jace is not an experienced fighter. Landon being the bad boy he is, though, is. But Jace is saying, you get out of here. Never want to see you again around the girls. Leave them alone. He really wants to protect them. Man, he is all messed up, but he really wants to protect them. You know, he sees Belle like family. He loves Marigold. This night did not go the way he planned. Jace is coming over to apologize for embarrassing Marigold, and Marigold doesn't want to hear it. She said, I can't believe you did that to me. This is my worst dream coming true. This is literally the stuff of nightmares. And he is trying to tell her, your sister kissed me. But she's saying, it doesn't matter. You didn't push her away, and that was in front of everybody. Everybody thinks you guys are together. They voted you king and queen. You know, who am I to stand in the way of my sister's happiness? You'd be better off without me. Would you even put me through this after all these years? You clearly don't care about me. And he's like, don't care about you. I have a ring in my pocket right now. I was going to propose to you tonight. I love you so much. And she said, don't you trick me. Don't you lie about that. You can't play with my heart. I'm stronger than that. And at the end of the day, I guess we're through. And he said, please just go home and think about this. I love you. Like, we're meant to be together. We've been together for so long. Don't let this be the reason we're not together. And Jace is honestly, he's dazed. He's upset. Jace is dazed and upset. Belle is on her way home, really feeling like $1,000,000. She feels like her sister's going to forgive her, as she feels like her sister owes her anything she wants in life. They are close, but they're not that close. As soon as Belle gets home, Dad has already heard, so he is asking Belle, what is her problem? Why is she so intent on ruining their perfect life with her shenanigans? She's never been like this her entire life, and now all of a sudden she turns 18 and she's out there ruining his good name and all his hard work he spent on raising her. He knows he raised her better than this. She said, why can't you get off my back? I am literally the perfect girl. I've been the perfect daughter. I'm so beautiful. People want me. Everybody wants to be with me, Dad. Like, you clearly don't know who I am. Your daughter is like the coolest girl in the school. Look, I am prom queen. I have so much going for me in life. Who cares that I'm pregnant? Everything's going to be fine. Don't you know better? Like, your sister's boyfriend. How could you do that? And she said, he's just perfect. I wish I had someone like that. He said that was Marigold's boyfriend. He was the perfect guy. He even asked me on Love Day if he could propose to her tonight. He had everything set up for her. How could you ruin that for your sister? You're such an embarrassment. And Belle's saying, Dad, that's just what I wanted. In the moment, I realized that Jace is the perfect guy, and I just wish I could have had someone like him. And I acted impulsively. These hormones are everything. And he's saying, yeah, I get it. You're pregnant. But we have to figure this out because now Landon is no longer an option and the whole town thinks you're with Jace. He's telling her the whole town is going to think by tomorrow that you've been with Jace this entire time and that you guys are together. So the second people find out that you're pregnant, they're going to think it's Jace's. And how could you do that to him? He literally was set up for life. Marigold was going to be set up. He was going to take care of her. He loved her so much. How could you do this to us? You're such an embarrassment. She said, well, Dad, if everybody thinks my baby will be his, can't we convince him to marry me? And he says, Dr. Bradford is saying, Belle, I have no idea what's gotten into your mind. Why do you think this would work? Belle is telling her father, well, you did say he's the perfect guy. Maybe we can convince everyone my baby's his. And so Dad has asked Mom to come in here to talk because after sending Belle to bed, he decided, you know what? This could work out. It's a freaking mess, but my reputation's too important, and I don't need to be under any suspicion due to my business dealings, and I don't want anyone speaking ill of me and that affecting my research. So he has brought Mom into the room, and they're having a 4 a.m. chat about his new plan for the girls. He is telling Helena that he thinks that they should convince Jace to marry Belle. They know that Jace is a good guy. Belle is beautiful. She's she is the it girl, and either one of their daughters would be great. Jace has known Belle his whole life. They grew up, they are so close together, even though they're not in a romantic relationship. Platonically, they have great compatibility. This would be beneficial to the family because he is also graduating. He's a senior. He can't he can't marry Marigold until the end of next year anyways. So maybe they can convince him to look in Belle's direction and take sympathy on her because they know he's such a good guy and moldable. And dad is saying to mom, maybe he can prescribe Jace some shifters and it'll make Jace more influential to their plan. So that way he will be more in love with the idea of the reality they're trying to sell him. And mom, of course, has always been a big supporter of shifters as they have changed her life because she came from such a dark background. So they brought Belle in here to talk about it and say, okay, you did this, you laid this bed, you're going to marry Jace. And she said, are you sure? And they said, yes, we are going to make it happen. Trust me. And Belle says, Mom, but what about Landon? And she says, don't worry about it. We're going to take care of this. Just listen to us and everything will be okay. And Belle's saying, okay, I'm sorry, guys. Everything is so much. I didn't expect all this to happen. My life was so perfect, and I really thought that I would be able to have anything I wanted. And they said, we did tell you that you can have what you want, but we didn't expect you to be so foolish about it. So they're going to help her entrap Jace in a marriage. So mom has come up to her garden to grab some of her chamomile for today's lunch. During all of this, Marigold has been forgotten by her family. She is crying it out, and she has been crying for hours now. Marigold has come to ask her mom, why are they so okay with Belle doing this? Belle's ruined her life and her heart is broken. And dad has come in and told Marigold to go to bed, to take her medicine and go to bed, taking it right now. And he has said, listen, Marigold, you and Jace, you guys dated for a little while, but he has been dating your sister for the last year. Don't you remember? And in this moment, Marigold is feeling very hazy and confused. And she's saying, you're right, Dad. I forgot that they had been dating this year. And she's saying, oh, yeah, you're right, Dad. I forgot they have been dating. I thought we were dating, but that doesn't make sense. Belle is perfect. Why would he date me? Maybe and mom is like, "Yes, sweetie, you guys broke up and it's okay because you're all still friends and you're happy for your sister." And they're telling her, "Yeah, Jason and your sister are getting married. Don't you remember?" And Marigold's crying and inside something is telling her, "Wait, what?" But Marigold's so confused and she's saying, "Yeah, I guess they are getting married." Um And dad's saying, honey, you're not feeling well. Please go to bed. Just go lay down, go rest, take the day to rest. And in this haze, Marigold is writing down some thoughts before the medicine fully kicks in. And she is going to lay down and sleep it off because she feels very confused about what's happening now in her life. In the haze, she's feeling like she's never felt before. She's not sure if the medicine her dad gave her was her normal medicine. She's feeling so confused and foggy and devastated, and her head is spinning and swirling, and reality is just not making sense to her right now. And Belle is coming into her room to write in her diary about everything that's happened because, again, this is their kind of routine. It's very therapeutic for them. And we're going to read her new journal entry together. Idea. Senior year. Okay, so at prom I kissed Jace after we were announced king and queen. So basically the world knows we're together. They even voted for us. Mary has to be okay with this. I'm pregnant for goodness sakes. If we don't do something about this, it's going to ruin our family's reputation. Who cares what she feels about me? She would feel grateful that this is going to work out. No one will associate with us if we have such a public shame. She has to understand. In Belle's mind, really, this is her only option. Her parents have kind of left her with, her parents have left her feeling like there's no other option. And in the moment, it seems like a good idea because Jace was such a good guy to her sister that clearly, if he can love her sister, he can love her. Belle is thinking if Jace can love Marigold, then Jace can love Belle because she is just as good as her sister, if not even better. She's the better model. She's more beautiful. She's, funnier. She's more interesting than her sister. And Jace probably just fell in love with how cute and innocent her sister is. But Belle thinks that she can make Jace fall in love with her because in her head, Belle is like, I am perfect. Landon's just a bad guy. And it's nothing to do with her. Dr. Bradford's in his office inputting some research from his latest version of the shifter pills. And he is going to come in and check on his wife and ask her if lunch is prepared for when Landon comes and visit. Mrs. Helena and Dr. Bradford are inviting Landon to come sit down and to talk so they can decide what is going on with the pregnancy. Mrs. Helen has made some tea and some roast, and Helena has offered Landon some of her tea, and he is just going to grab some and sit down and talk with. So he's just having some tea and talking with Dr. Bradford and Miss Helena, and he's explaining to them, look, guys, I liked your daughter. I think Belle's really nice, but I thought maybe I wanted to marry her. And then, when she got pregnant, I realized, hey, I'm not ready for this and I don't want to be a part of this. So if you guys want, I'll sign over my rights, but I don't want to be a father. I'm too young. I always aspired to travel and see the world. Dr. Bradford saying, yeah, we get it. That's how all young people are your age. We have high standards, but we understand that this is not what you expected or wanted. So, yeah, we'll be fine with you signing over rights. We just wanted to have you over for lunch to let you know that everything was going to be okay and you don't need to worry about us. And Mrs. Helena is asking Landon if he's enjoying his tea. Belle is upset and honestly embarrassed because he's saying, like, he doesn't want to be with her in front of her parents, but Belle trusts her parents because they said that they were going to take care of everything and they were going to talk to Jace. And Belle knows that Jace is a good guy, so even though she dreams of Landon, it's okay for her because she's like, look, I just want to be taken care of my whole life. And Jace is feeling pretty good about the situation. And he's thanking them for a great lunch and he's heading off. In his final moments, Landon hears a sudden gasp from Belle as her plate hits the floor, and at the same time, he falls and he collapsed. His ears are ringing. He is struggling to breathe. He looks up and sees Dr. Bradford continuing his lunch, and he hazily looks over and sees that Mrs. Helena is pouring the tea. He hears a whisper from Dr. Bradford saying, we gave you a choice and you chose wrong. You will not embarrass me. You are just a boy. You are not a man. You are just a boy. And you have no idea what I'm capable of. You have no idea what my wife is capable of and what it took for us to have this perfect life. You will not ruin this for us, and you will never embarrass me again. Helena is telling Belle, you've seen what we've had to do because of what you did. Don't you ever go off script again. You must listen to us and do what we say. For your life to be, for you to have a good life, you have to do what we say. We've told you that your entire life. I don't know where you got this arrogance from thinking that we didn't create this life for you and that you should stop listening to us. And Dr. Bradford is telling his daughter, and now you know what it takes. Mom is telling Dad, I can't believe we had to do this again. I can't believe that I messed up so bad as being a mother. I'm sorry I didn't teach our daughter better. And Dad is saying, it's all right, dear. We're taking care of this and everything's going to be okay. And Belle is devastated. She's realizing her parents aren't who she thought they were. And now she's so scared. She's brought Jace into this. She's ruined things for her sister. And she has no idea what the future is going to look like for her, especially now that she's got more of a reality of who her parents are. Death is over here talking to Helena, and he's saying, looks like you did it again. And she's explaining to Death, like, this time it had to happen. We have to get Jace over here tonight. So now Dad's saying, I will deal with the body. We need to get Jace over here tonight and have a dinner and discuss. Mom is cleaning up the evidence and making sure that there is no residue of the toxic KMLT. Belle is really realizing, her family is not who she thought they were. Jace has just arrived to the door, and Belle's going to greet him, and she needs to talk to him before her parents do. She's saying, look, I need to talk to you. My parents have done something crazy. So Jace is asking Belle what, their parent, like, what does she want to talk about? And Belle is trying to tell him, look, I'm sorry I kissed you at prom. I was just really thinking, everybody voted us to be together. I thought maybe we would be a great couple, and I'm super embarrassed. But secretly, I've always had a crush on you. And Jace is saying, look, Belle, you are beautiful. You are so smart when you want to be, and you're wonderful. We've always been friends, though, and I really do love your sister. I was planning on proposing to her at prom, but you kind of ruined that by, kind of being a jerk. And she's, super emotional about the situation. Belle is telling Jace, look, I know I haven't put my best foot forward, but hear me out. My parents just killed Landon, and Jace is like, what? Your parents did what? And Belle says, look, I'm not joking. They just killed Landon. And Jace is saying, that's insane. And she says, trust me, my dad, he is a doctor. He works with pharmaceuticals. He's a surgeon. And my mom said after it happened that she's done this before. I don't know what's going on, but I may have suggested to my parents that we could get married since everybody voted us for prom king and queen, and I kissed you in front of the whole school. They already think we're together anyways. And after graduation, I'm going to be obviously pregnant, so it's going to ruin your reputation anyways. You know how my family is, and our image really matters. This will ruin things for Marigold if we don't get married because we're going to be ostracized. We're going to lose everything we've ever known, all the life we've lived. We're going to lose everything if you don't marry me. So Jace just agreed to marry Belle. He knows this is crazy, but so Jace's mom is a patient of Dr. Bradford's. He has heard his mom mention to other women about the shifters that he prescribed and how they alter reality. He's never experienced them before, but he is believing in this moment, you know what? Dr. Bradford is such a serious man. And at the dinner the other day, I could have sworn he would have killed Landon there if we weren't in public. So Jace has realized that he has gotten so deep with his family, and they've kind of decided this is going to happen for him, that if he really did kill Landon, and well, if he or and Helena killed Landon, Jace is realizing how deep this could be for him and that he could lose his life too. So right now he is agreeing because he's not really seeing a way out. And, she is right. Like the school voted them prom king and queen. She kissed him on stage. She is now 4 months pregnant. Next week, she'll be 5 months pregnant, and it's their graduation. Everybody's going to know she's pregnant after graduation, and she's going to start showing. So it's going to ruin his reputation. And, he wants to go to college to be a veterinarian. He has a lot riding on this, and he could lose all that if Dr. Bradford puts a bad word in about Jace in Brightchester because Dr. Bradford is so esteemed. So in this moment, Jace is thinking, crap, my life is ruined, and I guess I'm going to have to marry her. So he's agreed to kind of have a marriage of convenience. So they're all just sitting down, and Dr. Bradford says, so Belle told me that you agreed to marry her. You don't know what this means for our family. Dr. Bradford's telling Jace, look, I know this isn't who you wanted, but she is beautiful, and I'll buy you a house, I'll buy you a veterinary clinic, I'll make sure you'll never have a worry in your life again. And Jace is just going to agree and do what they say. It's not his ideal situation, but at the end of the day, he's like, okay, fine, we'll do that. I'll propose to her at graduation so everybody knows that the baby's mine. they will get married after graduation. Jace is worried about Marigold and how she's going to take it. And so dad is saying, leave that to us. We will deal with Marigold. She will understand because this is what's best for our family and our business and our livelihood and our way of life. Everything will be fine with Marigold. You guys just focus on where we are going.